Long ago, in the land of Judah, there was a terrible famine. The crops withered and food became scarce. A man named Elimelech left his hometown of Bethlehem with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons to live in the nearby country of Moab, where the fields were still green. For a time, things were better, but soon sorrow came to their home. Elimelech died, and later, both of Naomi's sons also died. Naomi was heartbroken. She was left alone in a foreign land with her 2 daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth. One day, Naomi heard that the famine in Bethlehem was over. The Lord had blessed his people with food again. So she decided to return home. She told Orpah and Ruth, "My dear daughters, you have been so kind to me, but I have no more sons for you to marry. Go back to your families. May the Lord bless you and give you peace." Orpah wept, hugged Naomi, and returned home. But Ruth held on tightly to Naomi's hand and refused to leave. "Don't ask me to go back," Ruth said softly. "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Naomi saw the love and determination in Ruth's eyes and said no more. Together, they began the long, dusty journey back to Bethlehem. When they arrived, it was harvest season. The fields were alive with workers cutting golden stalks of barley. Naomi and Ruth had little to eat, so Ruth decided to go into the fields to gather leftover grain that fell behind the harvesters, a custom allowed for the poor. As Ruth worked quietly, a kind man named Boaz noticed her. He owned the field and was a wealthy, respected man, but more importantly, he was fair and generous. "Who is that young woman?" Boaz asked one of his workers. "She is Ruth," the man replied. "She came from Moab with Naomi." Boaz went over to Ruth and said kindly, "Don't go to any other field. Stay here and gather grain with my workers. I have told my men not to bother you, and when you are thirsty, you may drink from the water jars." Ruth was amazed by his kindness. She bowed and said, "Why are you so kind to me, a foreigner?" Boaz smiled. "I've heard how you left your home to care for Naomi. May the Lord reward you for your kindness." Day after day, Ruth worked hard in the fields. Boaz made sure she had plenty of grain and even told his workers to leave extra stalks behind for her to gather. When Ruth returned home and showed Naomi all she had gathered, Naomi's eyes lit up with joy. "May the Lord bless the man who showed you such kindness," Naomi exclaimed. Then she said, "That man, Boaz, he is a relative of ours, one of our family's protectors." Naomi smiled with hope for the first time in a long while. Weeks passed, and the harvest ended. Following Naomi's guidance, Ruth went to Boaz one night as a sign of respect and humility, asking him to be her family redeemer, someone who could care for her and continue her husband's family line according to Jewish law. Boaz was deeply moved. "Everyone knows you are a virtuous woman," he said. "I will do as you ask, but first I must make sure another relative does not have the right before me." The next day, Boaz went to the town gate and met the other relative. When the man declined, Boaz publicly declared, "I will redeem Ruth the Moabite and take her as my wife." In time, Ruth and Boaz were married, and their home was filled with joy. They had a son named Obed, and when Naomi held the baby in her arms, tears of happiness filled her eyes. The women of Bethlehem said to her, "Naomi, God has blessed you. Your daughter-in-law loves you and is better to you than 7 sons." Naomi smiled and cradled little Obed close. This child would grow up to be the grandfather of King David, from whose family line the Messiah, Jesus Christ, would one day be born.